Welcome back to a new episode of Just Create. We're going to be talking about going live as we go live. See you on the other side. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Just Create. Once again, my name is Thomas Duran. I am the host and founder of TD Films. And I just had a cough. Don't worry. I do not have COVID. But I do have another cough coming. Anyway, off to a great start. I tell you, off to a great start. I actually, I wasn't planning on doing any of this week because I was supposed to be traveling for work, but that obviously got postponed. Big bummer, but here I am and still trucking away. And today I really wanted to get on and talk about one of the things that we can do as your brand, as your business, that we could do right away. And why it's so important and why it's such in demand right now, videos. What's a simple, easy video to be able to do, and that's basically to go live. And there's obviously different levels of going live. You could go stream from your phone. We'll talk a little bit about that. And then you could do a little bit more of an elaborate setup. You could do, there's definitely different ways to be able to do multi-channel live streams. But why is it important to go live, and why is such a huge demand right now, especially this past year with COVID? Live streams are just are not just the future, but they are here. They are in demand, and they are needed. And it was what majority of brands are going for right now, is to do a lot of live videos. And so I wanted to kind of discuss about that. Found this article, but before we go ahead and dive into that article and read a little bit about it, hey, look, today's video is sponsored by. No, I'm just kidding. I have no sponsors. I don't. Not yet. I mean, this channel only has 60 followers, 60 subscribers, 61 subscribers as of this weekend. So, there ain't going to be no one sponsoring that. However, if you guys do like this channel, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button, hit that notification button, and I would truly, and comment below a little bit about this. If you find this entertaining, if you find this useful, you find this resourceful, so that way, that's what means much more to me than any sponsorships or anything like that. I am literally doing this because I like to. It's a fun exercise. All right. So it's been a crazy Monday already. I hope everyone had a great weekend. To start off this show, I would like to start off with another quote that I found very interesting by Frank Goebel. Because of their courage, their lack of fear, they, the creative people, are willing to make silly mistakes. The truly creative person is one who can think crazy. Such a person knows full well that many of his great ideas will prove to be worthless. The creative person is flexible. He is able to change as the situation changes, to break habits, to face indecision and changes in conditions without undue stress. He is not threatened by the unexpected as rigid and flexible people are. All right. So, this is kind of I read this and I feel like this is exactly my mantra. I want to go in everything I do to be fearless. When I try to create something, and I do know that every idea that I have, it probably will come out to be proved worthless. And it's okay, but I'm going to continue to push out those ideas because let's face it. Let me go back to here. Let's face it. Every great innovator, every great inventor, every great leader, they've all been known by one thing, one successful thing. And that's how we know them by, and that's what we remember them by. But we don't know all the thousands and tens of thousands of fails they had prior to that. So, this YouTube channel, it might be a fail. I don't care. I'm trucking through. This could be a success. I've tried this before, and I'm going to continue to try video. I mean, if I go back to my older videos before, definitely some fails, but I've had some successes along the way as well. So it's just, I think it's a great mantra. It's a great quote to go by. Just dare to fail, dare to not be, to be able to be flexible, and know that not every circumstance, not every situation, we're not all handed, dealt with the same cards of life, but how we deal with those cards is what our choice is. And that's how we make the most out of everything. So moving on. So hope everyone's doing well. If you guys are on, if you guys do come on, please go ahead and then leave comments or any questions. And we'll get right to this article as we go into why it's actually really important for you, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're if you're in marketing, you work for a company that deals with their brand, and why all companies are doing kind of lean towards this way, but to incorporate a video strategy using live video, and why I like using live video, and why I'm doing live video quite a bit right now. And so let's kind of go ahead and get into this article. All right. So the article, let me scroll this a little bit down right here, is on entrepreneur.com. Why more brands are going live with their videos, and why you should too. Now, this article is written by a guy named Eric Christopher E-Rock. We all know him. And we are going to get into this. E-Rock here says, the fact that video is a great way for brands to connect with their target audience is no secret. In fact, research from HubSpot reveals that 85% of businesses use video marketing, while 88% of marketers report that this tactic generates a positive return on investment for their company. All right, I'm going to just stop right there. Right there and there, already it's telling you why it's so important to understand how to, or why it's so important to really dive and invest into video in your guys' marketing strategy. It should be the number one content driver into that. And it's telling you right there, 88% of marketers report that this tactic generates a positive return on investment for their company. And we'll do a little bit more videos on what that return may look like. But not all video content is created equal. I agree. Notably, live video content has seen a significant increase in popularity and is one video trend that all brands should take note of. The rise of live video. Man, I swear to you guys, I'm doing fine. I feel great. Got done working out. All of a sudden, I'm getting a little allergies. Anyone on right now? Doesn't look like too many people are on, but that's okay. So live video has become an increasingly popular way of consuming online content, and the numbers prove it. Research from LiveStream found that 80% of consumers would prefer watching a brand's live video to reading a blog post, while 82% prefer live video to social media content. All right, let me read that again because I know I just read it, but I may not have understood it. Found that 80% of consumers would prefer watching a brand's live video, while 82% prefer live video to social media content. That's that's actually really, really crazy. I did not know that. That's good to know. Even more notable is live video's impact on viewers' financial decisions. The survey also found that 67% of live stream viewers bought tickets to similar events, such as concerts or conferences. 45% of viewers said they would actually pay to watch live video from a favorite performer or speaker. There was definitely a trend, especially in the height of COVID 2020, um, I've been asked on a couple of occasions to help. People were putting live events together, live stream events, online conferences and summits, online summits, and it went really, really well. Obviously, there was a lot of work that's involved, a lot of back end work from it, but it's become not such a. First, it was used as a replacement, right, for versus going to a live event itself. But now it's really becoming a massive norm. I mean, I'm on Adobe. I'm subscribed to Adobe's Creative Cloud YouTube channel, and I'm getting hit up with live streams all the time. They're just teaching you one thing right after another, and it's really, really amazing. Even on some of their products that I don't use or I'm not familiar with, but I always like diving into it just because I want to know what exactly what it is that specific software does, and so it's been really good. Where was I? Even more notable, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boom. These attitudes are directly reflected. Ooh, where did that go? These attitudes directly reflected in ever-increasing live video viewership trends. Gaming streaming platform Twitch received over 1.6 billion hours of viewed content. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, we also know that YouTube's not just the only place for live. A lot of people go to Twitch. And going live is really, when you go live, like right now, I'm just solely on YouTube. But there is, by having a setup like mine, or Ecamm or a StreamYard setup, you would then be able to go into like restream.io and be able to actually stream out a live section on all multiple platforms that you use. And so that definitely will become in handy. And that's something I haven't decided yet. I kind of really want to really build this channel up, and have all my focus on this channel. But it is definitely something for bigger brands or brands that are definitely more established, or if you're a brand that has a lot more viewership or more interaction in Facebook versus YouTube, and you're trying to get YouTube started, then the restreaming may actually be a great way to go for that. I don't have very much engagement on Facebook because I hardly ever use Facebook. So there you go on that. Facebook, kiss my butt. All right. I wonder if anyone's watching this. If anyone's on, it looks like there's one person on. Welcome, whoever is on. Appreciate you getting on. And so these attitudes are directly reflected in ever increasing. Okay, we already went through that. Clear. Let's kind of go back down here. Okay. What makes live video so appealing? During a recent phone call with Vlad Rigenko, founder and CEO of Dude LiveStream, he explained, a big part of the appeal with live streaming is that it helps to bridge the physical world and virtual world. The entertainment industry has been a good example of that, particularly in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. Live streaming a concert or theater performance helps recreate the experience of actually being there. The same is true with brands. Live streaming gives a sense of being part of a physical event in a way that pre-recorded content can't truly replicate. And I agree with that. With recorded content, I love recorded content. I do a lot of recording content, but one of the things that I've been finding is that, recorded content could be very polished. It's very edited, which is great because you want to have that professional look. You want to have a clear, concise message. But there is a authenticity that does involve a little bit more authenticity when you are live streaming, because you see all the different mistakes, the grammar mistakes, misspeaking, misspoke, whatever, like I do all the time. You actually get a really good sense of the people's personality. It's easier to buy into. You just develop a little bit more of a relationship when you are live. And there's a lot of live content that I watch that are not necessarily in creative space, also in politics space. And I mean, a lot of these speaking heads, I feel like I know them because they do go live and they're on the cuff, and it's really, really, really just fascinating content. And not only that, I used to work for the news station, and we go live all the time. Live was always my background wasn't broadcast live, and so I just knew the power of broadcast live. And or going into live live broadcast. It's a thrill. And once you're done, it's like done. Oh, it's over. It's pretty nice. All right, going ahead and get into this a little bit more. The idea of attending an event, even digitally, helps provides a sense of urgency while also facilitating a sense of community. This video content is happening live right now, and it won't be the same when you are viewing it later on. That's 100% true. Part of this comes from the opportunity for direct, real-time engagement. Search Engine Journal reports that Facebook live videos see 6 times the number of engagements as non-live videos. Audience want to comment on what they are watching, whether to get a response from the streamer or to engage with other viewers. 100% true. I'm always commenting on other people's lives. Even though I don't necessarily get a response, there's always that possibility. And when you do, it's like, whoa, he's actually reading my stuff. In addition, live stream content is less likely to feel overly produced, like other marketing content sometimes does. This helps generate a sense of authenticity. Didn't I just say that? That further draws in audiences. They feel that they are getting behind the scenes experience, and that could drive additional engagement and loyalty. Successfully incorporating live video into your brand's marketing strategy should start with the same basic question used with any other content marketing tactic. How will you provide value to your audience? Generally speaking, live video content should aim to educate or entertain while still being approachable. For some brands, this could mean offering tutorials on different things related to your products and services. For others, it might entail a Q&A with someone who works for the company. Consistently producing new live content is key to keeping the audience engaged. One of the things that I really draw to is the Q&A portion of the live content, and then also an interview portion of the content. So when you bring on guests live and you're like right there in that middle of the conversation and taking questions with those guests, those interviews, it's like listening to a podcast, but you're listening to it as it goes and you actually feel like you're participating in it. I absolutely am. I probably consume my time just always going, and anytime there's a live YouTube channel that goes on and they bring on a guest and there's just ongoing conversations, it's really those are my favorites. And especially if it's 2 opposing views of people, and you could just see how it's no longer about like keyboard warrior stuff, right? Like it's not just quick responses. You actually are more engaged, and you can see how people use their you can see the people's reactions, their faces. You could tell if someone's uncomfortable or not, or if you could tell someone's being pushed a little bit harder than what they're used to. This is just amazing. So that's why I love when Joe Rogan goes on to his interview podcast and shows video of it, even though that's not necessarily live. It's awesome when people do that live, because it's just real time. You're in the middle of the conversation, and it's really engaging content. So I love the Q&A portion out of it. And especially if you're like a brand, I mean, if you want people to buy into who you are, what you do, why they should buy your product, why they should buy your service, a lot of it is not necessarily the product itself. It's the story behind that product. And this best way to be able to share your story is just to do it in front of people, doing it live. You build that one-on-one connection. They feel definitely a lot more committed, because you're committing to them and you're not hiding behind anything. There's not some magical mirror or some magical wall or curtain in front of it. There isn't that. There's definitely a much better connection. Generally speaking, live video content should aim to educate or entertain while still being approachable. For some brands, this could mean offering tutorials on different things related to your products and services. For others, it might entail, we just read that. Consistently producing live content is key to keeping the audience engaged. And that's my whole goal with this. Just create live episodes. is to obviously to try to keep you guys engaged, answer questions you may have, and then hit on topics that will help you guys if with your brand, or help videographers sell their business to other corporate or to other companies, that type of thing. Successful video content is planned out in advance rather than being 100% off the cuff. I plan everything in advance. Now, there's things I allow myself to be on cuff about, but everything I do is planned. Everything I don't just come up with ideas. I don't have the capacity, the mental capacity to be able just to come up with something like that. Now, there are some talented people that have been doing it for a long time that can do that. I'm not one of them. That's okay. Maybe one of these days. Ensuring that basic talking points have been scripted out will avoid awkward lulls in your presentation and keep the audience engaged throughout. At the same time, live streaming brands should also be willing to take things in a different direction than anticipated based on the interests of their audience. That's a really, really good point. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much else to expand on that point other than that's just a really great point. Got to be, kind of back to my quote, you got to be flexible. You got to be prepared to be able to take it to a different direction based on comments and questions within your audience. But the only way you could do that, be prepared for that, is if you did plan out your overall structure. A great example of this comes from public speaker Brian Franzo. In an interview with Convince and Convert, he related, I was giving a tour behind the scenes with the goal of making streaming a backstage pass event when several viewers started asking questions about my new Samsung phone. So I switched gears and we started talking about technology because that is where their participants wanted to go. Also worth noting is the importance of streaming to the right platforms for reaching your target audience. While Facebook Live and YouTube Live offer great avenues for reaching a wide audience, some brands may find that even better engagement when they also stream their content to more niche platforms that are closely targeted to their audience. With the current challenge of hosting a live in-person event, entrepreneurs and event planners have pivoted to incorporate live stream video. However, one of the challenges of live streaming a physical event is managing the sales and ticketing process, as events organizers don't typically want to stream their event on the social media for free. I think they should offer like certain segments of it for free. I'm a big believer about give everything away, because it will just give everything away as best as you can, as much as you can, right? Obviously, but there's always a sale at the end of things, and right, my business is based off of someone hiring me to do their video for them. But right now I'm trying to give what my knowledge is. I know there's different theory or different views on this, but as in being live on here and doing my YouTube channel, I'm giving all away my knowledge. I'm just putting it out there, because one person says, like, you could give everything away, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to act on it, right? Like, and that's so true. And so that's where my business comes into play, is where when people or businesses and brands are ready to move forward and are ready to move forward with their videos and want to be able to start creating that video strategy, even though they understand the strategy already, they know what it needs to take place and what the investment is, they still need someone to be able to take action on it. And that's where I come into play, and that's where I find my work. So I'm all about just giving as much knowledge away as I can, because that's what other people have done for me. That's how I've learned. It's not like I have made up this stuff. I'm not, this is all, it's all been tried and true, or it's already been, already showed results, and I'm still learning more. And as I learn more, I'm going to teach you guys. I don't think we need to go. That's why Spencer Elliott and Patrick Van Dusen co-founded ViewStub. ViewStub is a hybrid event system that connects attendees with virtual and in-person experiences. The platforms offers a comprehensive suite of event services for business conferences, sporting events, musical festivals, concerts, organizers, etc. Today, some of the biggest corporations have already embraced the hybrid event trend. Absolutely. I connected with someone that who was doing all events, was an event planner, and now they're like an event planner for live stream events, and big live stream events. It's pretty amazing. The Home Depot, one of the world's largest home improvement retailers, recently utilized ViewStub software to run a promotional event based on holiday gift cards. Okay, that's just the Home Depot. So I know that we're not all big corporations, and people that are probably viewing this are going to be either a small, very small business, a single entrepreneur, and it's not a big corporation, right? So so I don't want you to think that you have to have like this massive live event in order for a live streaming to be successful. Matter of fact, the setup that I have, that I get hired on to use, with this particular setup that I have right here, this is pretty amazing, and it was about a $2,000 investment after everything's all said and done. And I'm literally, it's operating as a one-man show. Then I could grow it to where it operates at different or several people. And so you don't have to have a massive setup in order to be a successful live stream. And not only that, but understand like your audience. A great experience in live stream could just be where it's a private group on Facebook or a private group through Zoom conferencing. That's also been highly successful. It doesn't have to necessarily be a full-on, $50,000 investment into production. It could definitely be much more minimal and have the same experience. And so this, over COVID-19, I'll just give you a couple examples. Bureau of Land Management, they do a lot of Zoom conferencing events, webinar events, where instead of, where they would have town hall meetings, they converted those town hall meetings into these live webinars. And so the community was able to go on. They had a presenter. It was almost as if they were literally going to a town hall meeting, but they were able to do it virtually. And I did a lot of those over 2020. And so I was working inside my house and while this town hall meeting was for a location out in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska, or something like that. So there's one example is that what people were able to do is by setting up like a webinar, live streams, and those are pretty successful. Another really it's really interesting. I just got into this live stream probably like at the beginning of COVID. I went and invested into this Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro device, and I've been loving it ever since. And it's been unreal. As soon as I put out there that, hey guys, I have the capability of doing live stream events, live stream, operations. One of my biggest gigs was to do it for the state of Arizona. And on September 11th, the local firefighters wanted to put on a memorial. They rented these guys as like these lights that these built that were like a replica of the Twin Towers lights, and they did that in the Capitol. And next thing you know, it was supposed to be just one camera live stream, and then it turned into a 4-camera live stream with a mobile camera. So it wasn't like a wireless camera. That's the word I was looking for, like a mobile wireless camera, and set up for audio and things like that. And I was able to use the same setup that I use at my house. I brought that out there in the middle of the Capitol, and I was able to set that up. Brought on another guy who helped me with the camera operations of the work, and I was able to cut the show. And it went live across every single platform that it was, every Arizona government platform that was available there, with all the YouTube channels that the Arizona government owns, all the Facebook channels that Arizona government owns, and all the YouTube channels that the actual governor owns, Facebook loans, and then all the news stations owns. And so it literally streamed off of my little laptop. It blows my mind even today. It streamed off of my laptop, and I was connected to every single one of those platforms. And the thing, all my gear, all my equipment, everything was all broadcast right then and there. And it was all just, it was unreal. I left that experience. I'm like, all right, I have no idea how I got into this position, but it happened. And so there's a lot of things you could do with just even a quote unquote small live stream setup. As you can see what I'm doing right now, it's pretty amazing. I cannot wait till concerts happen again, because I think that would be a huge avenue and revenue stream, is to do live stream for concerts. Let's see here. Live stream content is a compelling and efficient strategy to expand your brand in today's virtual world. Well-executed live content ultimately helps your brand feel more real, accessible to your target audience, and it gets you in front of more people than ever before. As you regularly incorporate live streaming content into your marketing strategy, you will be equipped to build powerful brand awareness that leads to meaningful sales growth. Absolutely. So let's say you're just starting out in live stream. How can you start off with a live stream, right? I mean, what is it that, whoa, I'm back. All right. Actually, I think I wanted to do, here we go. That's what I wanted. And see, it's live. You got to love it. What is the, what's one way we could get started right away without very minimal equipment to start doing live streams for your brand? This right here, your phone. Just start using this. It already has everything built in that you possibly need. It's a great little setup, easy setup. You know how to hit play and hit record and go live. And you just go live on Facebook. You go live on Instagram. Go live on, obviously YouTube. But just using your phone. One of the things I highly suggest is to start investing in a little bit of a basic setup, a nice little light, a nice piece for audio. Audio is very, very important. Matter of fact, I would tell you it's more important to have great audio than it is to have great video, because you can be able to use audio in multiple formats, and if the video goes to shit, you still have the great audio and it can still be used. So everything that you say by having great audio can still be used. If you have bad video, it's all right. It can be covered up. There's ways to fix video. Audio, it's very, very difficult to fix bad audio. Even professionals want to make sure they have good video coming in, so they can get great video or great audio coming out. So just start off by doing this. And it's also a great supplement to be able to have you to do consistent daily content and consistent daily videos. That is my hat. Sometimes I have to look at the camera. It relieves any post-production that you have to be worried about. A lot of people, I think, sometimes want to start with video and want to be able to start doing a lot of daily content, but they don't have the means or the time or the skill set to be able to record and then edit. Well, live video eliminates that post-production. Matter of fact, I took that route. Okay. I don't have the time. I can edit my work. I don't have the time for that. And especially if I need to edit towards a little bit on the back end to like repurpose this content that I'm doing right now, repurpose it for all these other platforms that I want to put my content on. But cutting out little snippets, but that's easy. But I'm talking about just doing all the little fun other interstitials, putting the intro on. I'm doing this all live, mainly because I don't want to have any post-production involved with it. Once you're done, you're done. You're ready to go. So it'll help eliminate that stress or that worry that you need to know how to edit in order to do video for your business. With going live, you don't have to worry about that. And when you get to a certain spot where you want to have a lot more of a higher production, you see a lot of people now that are kind of trending that way. I still think it's still kind of rough. However, they're trying. You can hire buy your own equipment, hire a staff to be able to run it, or you hire a video production company that will be able to do that. Whatever the case may be, you do want to get in a position where you will eventually need to level up your level of production. And so when you do that, I see a lot of people again doing green screens, live studios. I'm not a big fan of it. It looks cheesy because the green screen's not really chroma keyed out very well. People are all using green screens, but they're not well lit, and so they're not well, it's just not well produced. It looks to me, it looks tacky, but that doesn't mean that it is a tacky thing. A lot of people like it. They're like, oh, how'd you get that backdrop? Or how did you get that, setting? And I like practical settings. This is a working backdrop right here that I love for my live setup. I try to avoid green screens. Get yourself a little practical. Add some personality to your background. Have fun with it. People like that. People pay attention to that. They look for Easter eggs behind you. Anyway, that's so if you're looking for how do I start video for my brand, for my business right now, what's the easiest way of content that I can start doing? And it's live videos. It really is. I'm going to continue to do it. I love the format. There's ways to level it up. You can go from doing it begin with doing it with your phone. Then you can progress to buying your own equipment where you buy a camera. You get you could get something like a Black Magic. Let's see here if I have. You could buy yourself a little camera, DSLR camera or a webcam. Buy yourself a video card, plug it in your computer, use softwares like there's different softwares out there. There's OBS. That's definitely a little bit more difficult. It's a free software for LiveStream software, but OBS is one. Ecamm, which is what I use right now as well, along with my Blackmagic. Ecamm Live, it's a Apple only software. However, for LiveStream, but it is very intuitive. I do love it, or I do like it. I wouldn't say necessarily love it. There's still some things that I find constricting. However, they're improving it every single day, but I do like it. It's 1,000% reliable. And then there's StreamYard. StreamYard, I heard, is a very good source to go through, especially for PC users. They're not Apple users. I believe it. They do also do Apple, but if you're Mac users, or if you're PC users, StreamYard is an excellent route to go. So there's these different platforms to be able to do the streaming. So that allows you to do these type of graphics and multi-camera stuff. So if you want to level it up, those are definitely good softwares and different hardwares that you can use. And I could go a little bit more detail. If that's something of an interest for you, that you want to learn more about that, put that on the comments, because I'll be more than happy to go ahead and go into like why I chose this route versus another route, what you could do with this type of limited budget. If you want to go a little bit more details on that, put it on the comments below and let me know, and we can do another show just strictly on live stream setup. But this whole thing is the whole point of like why it's so important to go live right now. It's one of the easiest things to do when it comes to creating video content, to get it out on a daily and continue to be able to do ongoing content. Because once again, if you're trying to get your message out, you're trying to get your content out, number one thing is that like a lot of algorithms, they don't work unless you have a whole bunch of content already in place. Like I don't expect this channel to do anything until after my 100th episode. My 100th episode is where it's going to be. My 100th video episode, my 100th video live is where I'm going to judge myself on how far I've come from what I started last week to what I started and what's going to end up, in the future. My 100th episode, if I don't do any improvement from my 100th episode, I am doing something wrong. I'll be very disappointed, but I'll definitely look to see what exactly did I do wrong. And I probably need to, reconfigure some things or re-strategize and go a different direction. But my 100th episode is sort of the baseline to see how far this has come along. So I don't expect anything much until before then. But I do want to be able to get there, and that's my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to get, I want to have 1,000 subscribers to begin with. That's my very first step. Is I want to have 1,000. It's not just to have the subscribers, but it's to build 1,000 great subscribers, like true fans and true subscribers, because that's the community I want to work into. That's the community I want to work with. I'm not here for everybody. If you try to do videos for everybody, you're not doing videos for anybody. You're not doing a justice on that forever, for anything. So, so my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers on this channel by my 100th episode. It might be ambitious, but I think it could work. I think you could do it. I could use your guys' help. Anyway, LiveStream is where it's at. I love it. It's a great place to start to do your video, to do your videos and marketing strategy. And then once you're done recording your live videos, you could then take it and go ahead and chop them up and make them to sound bites. Then you can use that for Instagram stories. You can use that for Instagram reels. You can use that for Facebook. You can use it for ads. You can use it for your web page. You can use it for LinkedIn. You can use it, name it. What you're doing now is you're building yourself tons of content, and people want to listen to you. So, all right. Well, I better get going. I promised myself I get this done in 20 minutes. Did not happen. It looks like it's 41 minutes. I appreciate the person that's still staying on. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of the week. I will be here tomorrow again, so stay tuned. We'll say 2 o'clock tomorrow. I'll go live again, and we'll have another fun topic to talk about. So, and come out with any questions or anything. And then if you guys think this is great, fun content, please share my stuff. Appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of the day. Talk to you later. Bye.